nerds, geeks, and Marvel nerds. I said nerds twice. That's okay. This is Megan with Vigilante Vibes, where I give you all the Marvel talk, all the Marvel discussions, all the Marvel theories in a very non-toxic way. It's like the fun of the fandom without the grossness that comes with the fandom. I think we all know all the stuff I'm referring to. Today, I'm joined by a fellow nerd mom who I'm super excited. You may have seen her just commenting and spreading joy everywhere in my Facebook group, The Nerd Haven on Facebook. Well, please welcome Katy.
Hi.
Today, we're going to be talking about what it's like to be a nerd parent. So, more specifically, nerd moms, but I think nerd dads can get something out of it too. Raising little nerds in a world where being nerds it was always kind of a thing to be made fun of, but now it's kind of like the thing to do. It's very strange, but I kind of dig it.
Yeah, I was going to think about that because, as I think I told you before, I grew up nerdy, and when I was a kid, my brother actually got me into comic books and such, and I remember going into the comic book store with him, and I would point or tell him which comic books to pick up to get for me because I was too embarrassed because it wasn't cool to be a comic reader back when I was a kid in the '90s, and yeah, so it's great that that's so accepted now and everything. It makes a big difference that being a nerd's kind of cool and a
Yeah.
little more mainstream.
Yeah. So you
Uh,
say you grew up on comics. Which ones did you like to read?
I was really into Excalibur and X-Men. I mean, I think awkward
Mm.
teenager, trying to, and then I got into Elf Quest for a while and Sandman, and then managed to loop back when I had my own kids back into Marvel again, and yeah, it's been good. Thank goodness for Marvel Unlimited, or else I wouldn't be able to afford it.
I know. I want to go. I get like the ones that I really, really love in
Yeah,
physical form, but it's expensive. Not in this
it adds
economy.
up.
It adds
Yeah,
up so fast. So thank God for Marvel Unlimited because I would be in
yeah,
shambles. It's
yeah. I read a lot more than I would be able to afford to otherwise. It also saves space, which is good too. Because yeah, I remember having tons and tons of those boxes and of comics, and just what do you do with them? Gather
yeah.
dust.
There it's hard because you want to like display them or you want
Mm-hmm.
to put them somewhere, but it's like we also have kids and my kids have destroyed mine. Like I just destroyed them.
Yeah,
And there's no balance in life for a mom nerd because your collectibles, that's theirs now. They're destroyed.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Funkos, those little heads come off real easy, and I found that out the worst ways.
Yeah. Having the older teens or the teens now is that's past. But yeah, I remember that pain and trying to keep your things nice. You're not allowed to have nice things, so when they're little.
Yeah, even my Christmas decoration, like my Christmas ornaments, my daughter 2 years ago went and chewed off the legs off every hero. So like it's just Spider-Man head and body, Iron Man
that's,
head and body, and it's like it feels so personal at this point. It's
oh
just
dear,
rude.
that's sad. That's really sad.
But we
Oh.
kept the little bastards. They just been through so much. We couldn't throw them away.
Yeah, you spent so much on them, right?
Yeah.
And they're kind of cute. Yeah,
Yeah, very true.
yeah. Good
So,
thing they're cute.
thank God they're cute. Oh my God. So you have little nerds of your own. Well, I guess kind of grown nerds, not little nerds, but do you do you guys enjoy nerding out together?
Yeah, one of my favorite stories with my older son, who's my big Marvel nerd. He's 16 and huge Deadpool fan, so we went with his friends actually for his birthday to go see Deadpool and Wolverine on opening night. And he wanted his bestie to sit on one side, and then he wanted me to sit on his other side because he knew I would get all the references and everything.
Oh,
And we were going there all the movie, grabbing each other and going, oh my god!" It touched my heart so much that he wanted to sit next to me because that's something we share, and he knew I would get all the references and everything with him. So that was really special.
that is so
And
sweet.
Yeah, yeah, he's a
Yeah.
good kid.
That that's
And
so nice.
and then we do cons. We cosplay together. Our first con at the Vancouver Fan Expo, we all did Loki. So I did low key Loki, Lowkey, and my older son did President Loki. My daughter did a gender swap TVA Loki, and my younger son did Alligator Loki. So that was fun. And then they've gotten more into their own fandom. So my older son does various Deadpools, like Deadpool riding a unicorn, Deadpool in maid's costume. My daughter's really into the Helliverse, so she did Charlie the other year, and my younger son, when he's going to be a little too cool to dress up, but he's done some anime characters and such. So that's really fun to share with them, and an experience with them. It was really cool, actually. Speaking of sharing with my daughter, sharing experiences. When my daughter at the last one, she's been grade 8 in Canada is when you start high school, and she was feeling very awkward and kind of was having trouble making friends, and she was having a tough year. And we went to the fan expo, and she dressed up as Charlie from Hazbin Hotel, and she had all these people coming up and going, you know, coming up to her and saying, "Oh, you look so cool," and bowing to her and treating her like royalty, and it so made her day. It was just awesome to see it, just see our confidence go up like that. So that was really cool,
Oh, that
a
is so
special experience.
sweet.
Yeah,
Oh,
so she loved that.
that's
Yeah.
great. So do you guys all cosplay together, which I think is adorable. My family won't do it, so like I'm living vicariously through you guys. So, do you guys have a big cosplay, like a family cosplay planned for the future?
I don't know what we're gonna do this year. It's fan expos in end of February, so I don't know what our plans are for this year. I Yeah, my daughter went as the Lamb from Cult of the Lamb video game for Halloween, so she might just do that one. My son was going to do Princess Deadpool for Halloween, but then the dress didn't really fit onto. It was awesome. He wore the dress, but didn't quite fit over the Deadpool costume, so it was a bit tight. A big poofy pink dress. It was awesome, and so I don't know if he's going to go with that, but he's going to do this year. And yeah, I don't know. I did Miss Minutes the other year, and I don't know. I keep saying I'm going to retire that costume, but I like it, so I might just do that again. So I don't know. Haven't made any big plans yet because life and busy and all
Of
that fun
course.
stuff.
I loved your Miss Minutes look.
Oh, thank
I
you.
loved it. I really thought I'd see more Miss Minutes that year, but like you were the only one and you killed it. So,
Oh, thank you.
you guys are pretty much a cosplaying family now. That's kind of how I see you.
Yeah.
I love that so much. I love your son's confidence with being Princess Deadpool, and I love that your daughter's confidence soared when she got so much positive attention for when she cosplayed. That's so beautiful.
That's the fun. That's the great thing about the raising kids nerdy is that there is a really. I mean, there's the toxic side of the fandom, but there is a really supportive side of the fandom too, and that embraces people being different and being a little bit weird and being, you know, into these kind of very alternative things, and it's fun. Yeah, again, my son when he did, I think when he did both his Deadpool costumes, the Deadpool riding a unicorn and made Deadpool, he had people lining up to take pictures with him. It's just it's such a fun ego boost for them, and like both boosts their confidence so much. And it's just great that there's these supportive people and supportive community that supports these kids and encourages them to explore this crazy side. Sorry for my cats; they're
I
being
liked
noisy.
it. I really liked it a lot, actually. That's really
They're
cute.
comedy. Yeah.
I totally agree. There is, there of course there is the rough side of the fandom that'll beat you down if you don't look perfect as a cosplayer or you're not wearing the sexy cosplay. It's just there's the shitty
Yeah.
people. But then there are the people who would more often than not will say you look amazing even if you didn't get it all the way, you still tried I love your
Hmm.
passion. And those people need to be protected at all costs because we need
Yeah.
that positivity and that support. Because I think cosplaying and just doing what you love in a nerdy way, I
Hmm.
think it helps you benefit so many things for your personality, like you said, your confidence and your ability to show your passions out loud instead of keeping them in because you're embarrassed.
Yeah, exactly. It's yeah, no, it's exactly that. It's been really cool. And there's a really nice cosplay community here. We stumbled upon it through the Fan Expo page, actually, a group of cosplayers that was dressing up, or meeting at a park and in Marvel cosplay and going to mostly X-Men related, and then going to go see Deadpool and Wolverine in cosplay. So that was really fun. We met up with them, and that was just awesome. And they had people who just came as photographers and were doing pretty professional quality photography just for free. And we had all kinds of people. There was a Nightcrawler, there was a Mystique, there was Cyclops. There was all kinds of these awesome cosplays, awesome Deadpool's, awesome Wolverines. It was really cool, and so I went with that with my son, and that was a lot of fun. And then to watch the movie in costume, that was fun. And I
Would
found it was in my Miss Minutes, so I found a Loki and a Mobius, so that was cool to get pictures with them. So there was like, I don't know, there was like 30 of us or something, so that was really cool. And it just was supportive. I mean, there was really good quality cosplays, and then kind of much more kind of you know simpler ones. But it was all supportive, and everyone was excited, and they did these kind of videos to music and everything. It was a really neat experience. So that was cool and fun for my son as well. And so I appreciate the community that's here, and I hope it's other places as well. And I've just really experienced it here in the Vancouver area, but that's been really cool.
that is
Um,
cool. I didn't know we don't have anything like that here. I live out in the middle of nowhere. So like cosplay isn't really a big thing if
yeah.
at all. So that's so cool. So you guys all got dressed up in cosplay and went to see Deadpool Wolverine. That feels like a core memory in the making.
Yeah, it was pretty special. It was fun. It was really cool. And there were just everyone was so nice and friendly. I mean, I felt kind of awkward at first there. I didn't know anybody. I'd messaged with this one guy who was organizing it all, the guy dressed as Cyclops, and I was like, what's going on? And so I was, and so I just showed up, and I was like, and it was really cool. It was a fun experience, and yeah, no, people were so nice and friendly and accepting. It was really neat.
That is
And
really
yeah,
great.
we're kind of in the boondocks where we are, but it takes about 45 minutes to get into the city, so we can at least balance and do some of the fun stuff that way.
So what did you guys think of Deadpool and Wolverine?
Oh, we loved it. We absolutely loved it. Yeah, no, it was such a fun experience, and yeah, I think Dom and my son Dom and I, we were just bouncing out of our seats. We were just, and then afterwards we're just blah, just couldn't stop. It was definitely one of the best movies of the year, and definitely one of my favorite Marvel movies for sure. So
Which
it
is
was awesome.
wild because it like really didn't have much to do with the MCU, but it's
No,
still like I don't know why I loved it. I think it's one of my favorite movies. And you look back, you're like, it really didn't have any impact on the MCU. It was just kind of there, just making jokes at their expense, which I loved.
yeah. Well, at least it had the TVA, and Loki's my favorite Marvel show series, whatever. So at least I got my TVA fix. So that was good. And great. Yeah, it was just such a good cast, and just everyone just worked so well together, and it just was. And there were just so many. And the fact there were so many surprises in there that things weren't leaked was awesome.
Yeah.
And
And the fact,
I mean, just yeah, and just being in the audience, and when Gambit appeared, when Blade appeared, I mean, just the screams and everything, and and the and Human Torch and everything. I mean, just being in the audience for all that, those moments was just such a cool experience. And then those were the moments I was sharing with Dom, and we were just like literally like grabbing each
It's
other's
wild to
arms and
me
just going,
that
oh my
as
God, oh my
great as that
God.
movie was, Ryan Reynolds came up with it like in a couple hours, the idea of it, right before he had to, yeah, right before he had to meet Kevin Feige because
That's insane.
Hugh Jackman called him and said, "Hey, I want to be in the next movie," and he's like, "That's weird timing because I'm going to go see Kevin in a few hours." So he had to come up with this whole idea, and then he went to see Kevin, and Kevin's like, "I love it, let's do it," and he's like, "That's the one," because I guess he has asked them many ideas and they turned him down. I think, including a Christmas movie, which was like kind of glad
Oh,
they didn't
wow.
do that.
Right.
It did, and I
Yeah,
don't
that
know
one
how
sounded
you get
odd.
like a few hours out of a Christmas movie, but
Weird. Though I really, really
yeah, like
want
a
a
special
Deadpool Christmas special
presentation
now, like
would
they
be
did for the
great. I would love
Guardians.
that, and
I think that would be
that
awesome.
makes me realize: are we not getting something
Yeah.
Christmas themed this year? Because, ugh,
I don't know if we're just getting What If. I don't know.
ugh,
I don't even know if there's a Christmas episode to the What If this time. Wish they
I
released the
want to know so
titles.
many things about
I
what's going to
don't
happen.
know.
What if? Because it's the last season. If it was, if it wasn't the last season, I'd be like, oh, I mean, it'll be
I
great. I'll
know.
be excited. But it's the last one, so it's like, what are they about to do?
Yeah, I know. I can't. Yeah, and I know I'm not crazy about the
What?
one a day
I,
either. I know you're not crazy
yeah,
about that,
I might do
but
like a review a
it'll
day
be
or
what it is.
something,
Yeah,
but it's like that's just another thing, and it's such a tiring
yeah.
time of the year. I like there's just so many things I forget
That's
already. But
it
that's
is.
just me being lazy, not wanting to do more.
Yeah, that's one thing about having nerdy kids. Gift giving at least
True.
is easy because they well, there's always Funko. There's always something that's it's easy to find
Very
stuff for
true.
them. So that's been good because it can be hard to find things for teenagers.
Yeah.
'Cause
That
teenagers are
my oldest,
teenagery.
who's 5, she
Yeah.
is a nerd, but she's a nerd about everything in the world. She likes every damn thing she comes into contact with. She gets obsessive over it. And it's like, well, you're easy to shop for. But my youngest, no interest in nothing. Nothing. She is 2. And
Oh,
she just wants you to turn on TV
yeah,
to the dancing fruit
yeah.
videos on YouTube and just live her life, I guess. And I was like, all right. So they're very opposite ends of the spectrum. And I was just like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Just like ask me to watch Spider-Man or something. Give me something. Because my husband isn't nerdy. And he is the least nerdy human being on this planet.
No,
What?
my husband might give you a run for the money on that. He's yeah. No, he is hunter fisherman. Likes his war movies. He'll play some video games, but like the shoot 'em up video games, and lovely, lovely
Like,
person. I adore him to bits, but yeah. I was glad I have a child I can go watch the Marvel movies
well,
with because
he will go
otherwise I'd
watch the
be
movies with
a
me
very
if
sad
I
person.
provide snacks. That's the only caveat. And as long as they don't sing in the movie,
Oh,
he
okay.
cannot do sing alongs, musical. He hates them with a fiery passion, and he always has. So it's like, okay, well, I'm just
Oh.
not going to tell you then.
Mhm.
So that scene in the Marvels, he really, really hated. He was not pleased in the theater. And I was like, how was I supposed to know? I
Oh, I can
haven't seen
imagine.
the movie.
Oh,
Yeah. But it sounds like we're
yeah.
married
It
to.
wasn't. Yeah.
Is this when we find out we're
Oh
married to
wow.
the same man? Oh,
Maybe there you go. Woo. I given up taking him to movies because I've got a child to take to with me. Actually, the first Marvel movie I took him to was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I think it was when he was in grade 3 or 4. It was the promising if he did well in his spelling test, I would take him to go see it, and yeah, so that was really fun. We went and we did the D box seats, so they vibrated, and that was really really fun too.
oh,
So that was our first Marvel movie together, and so that was really special. And mind you, I've had some major parenting nerd parenting missteps too. I My son got into
Uh-oh.
watching The Boys, which it was just fine, and he knew we were watching it. So we were watching it together, and
Purogasm.
a certain
Don't, yeah.
episode came on. Uh, yeah, which was very, very, very one of the more awkward moments to watch with my, I don't know if he was 14 or 15 then, year old son. So that was a bit of a misstep. I mean, it was fine. I mean, we talked about it afterwards. We're
Yeah,
like, yeah, that was awkward. Okay,
I get
so
it.
maybe not the
We
most
first turned
appropriate
on The
moment,
Boys.
but
I didn't read The
it's what
Boys
it is.
comics, so I didn't know. I people just said it's a more adult superhero show, and I was like, say no more. I'm in. So we all just finished up eating dinner. Me and my husband are sitting down. My kids are just playing in the living room, and we turn it on. And we're like, okay, let's do this. Then a train runs straight through a girl, covered in blood,
Mhm.
and I'm just like, I don't like blood. So I was like, what do I do? Do I throw up? My
Yeah.
kids are right there. I just realized my kids are there. And I was like, oh, this they're going to talk about this in therapy later and I know it.
Exactly. That show my husband will watch with me, so that is something. He does watch that one with me. But yeah, that one was one of those awkward of like, I watching this with my 14, 15-year-old son. This is not the best decision here. And then of course I didn't learn because Amazon Prime sent me a thing to go watch for free the Gen V at the movie theater, the first two episodes. And I was like, well, Dom loves The Boys. Why don't I'll go take him there. And then there were some very questionable scenes in that one, the first two episodes of that as
I
well. So I was
tried
just
to
like, yeah,
get
I don't learn.
into um
But
Gen Z. I can't do it. I don't know what it is, but it's just like it's not for me.
yeah, I didn't like it as much, but it grew on me. Um, Dom enjoyed it a lot. I still haven't watched the animated one. He keeps trying to get me to watch that. I just haven't,
Animated one.
time, things like that. So, but
I
the Diabolique
I didn't
or
know that was a
something like
thing.
that, or
This is all new.
I don't know.
New world.
Yeah, there's a well, there you go, New World. But yeah, so that's one of my nerdmon parenting fails. But basically, it's been fun raising the kids nerdy, and I mean I haven't been able to get they never got into Trek, which was the other big thing I grew up with. My mom was a big Trekker. We would do the cons and everything and stuff like that. But I've tried to get them to watch a few things, but it's never clicked with them. But that's all right. They don't have
True.
to like all exactly the same nerdoms I like. And yeah, and then my daughter actually she's the one who got me to watch she watched the Has Been Hotel stuff first, and then she got me to watch it, which was fun. She enjoyed being able to introduce me to something that she liked a lot. And again, not totally
That's
appropriate, but
true. I mean, we all watched
pick your
things
battles,
that
right?
weren't really appropriate first when we were younger. So, I guess there's worse things that could happen. Some people beat their kids, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's much worse things. I mean, and at least the message for from Has Been and things like that is pretty good. It's like acceptance and
I
trying to
haven't
better
seen it,
yourself
so
and things like
I've
that.
heard about it.
And
Yeah.
not
I've
just
heard about it. Like I've
that's
heard
it's a good
from both
show.
sides. From the people who are like, it's an amazing show, and the other people are like, how can children watch this show?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, God bless. Thoughts and prayers. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. It's. I mean, it's your call as a parent. What's appropriate and what's not. I decided that was okay. The ship had already sailed, and she watched that without me. So
Yeah.
yeah, so all right, internet and their own computers and such. That's always tricky when you get into that whole aspect of things. It's just a tricky ship to sail,
Yeah. I mean, there's worse things
navigate. I don't
she
know,
could be
but
seeing on the internet than
yeah.
Has Been Hotel.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So And she wanted to share that with me, and it gave her confidence to dress up
And
as
she told
Charlie.
you
So
about it.
I
It's not
really
like she tried to keep it a
can't fault
secret.
it. Yeah. Oh no, yeah. No, we've got pretty good
As far
communication,
as
the
you
kids and
know.
I, or at least I think we do. So that's, I think, the most important thing. As far as I know, we communicate well. So I mean, I'm sure they don't. I know they don't tell me everything, but it's. I try to keep open and
Well, that's all you can do is
accepting
just
and all
support
that.
them
So
no matter what. And then
yeah,
create a
exactly. Yeah.
open line of communication for them.
hmm And hopefully to have taught them the
Yeah,
proper values and everything, and
it's true.
kindness and acceptance and all that stuff. So, which I think a lot of nerdom kind of promotes. I mean, definitely like X-Men and such, and things like that. That's promotes those kind of messages. So that's another great thing about raising kids nerdy is a lot of nerds grew up feeling not very accepted and feeling awkward and out of place, and so a lot of the stuff that's coming out now reflects that and reflects the need for acceptance and accepting people who are different and those kind of
Yeah, that
values.
is
So,
interesting how
nerd kids are
prevalent
cool.
in today's society the my daughter came in. um, it's interesting today how
Oh, that's all right.
prevalent the topics are that surround the X-Men. They're so very much still valid, and they should be talked about even more because the world is scary, and I'm worried it's getting scarier. And it's like you have kids, and they have to live in that world too.
Oh
It's a
gosh,
lot.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's yeah. Well, I think X-Men '97 came out at just the perfect time. I mean that one episode is still just it still resonates with me, and Dom and I watched that together, and we talked about it like for the whole week
Episode
afterwards, and
5.
we're
Remember
both
it?
so blown away
Yeah.
by it. So yeah, yeah, yeah. One that one still that one hit me hard. So I think it came at a time. That's what's great about X-Men. That's what the type of issues it
Yeah.
tackles. So
I totally get that.
that's
I
why that's
mean,
always appealed to
there's
me.
not. I don't care what anyone says. If you say you don't like the X-Men, that means you don't like the X-Men. You don't know the X-Men. It's you. I don't understand how you can look in a whole team
Yeah,
and then just not like a single one of them. Like they're first of all, they're all beautiful. There's so many, like
so
even in the
many
X-Men
X-Men.
universe, it's
There's
just there's
so
so
many.
many mutants.
I don't think. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, that definitely. When I was middle school, high school, that definitely the mutants resonated with me because I felt so awkward and out of place and uncomfortable in my own body and everything. So it was good to have those to read, even if I was in the store pointing to my brother to go pick up them for me. I
I get that.
was
I
too
think we all
embarrassed to get
went
them
through.
myself.
We've all. I don't care
But,
what anyone says. We've
yeah,
all
but it
gone
was
through that phase in our life where, like you said, you're not comfortable in your own body. Just you're not comfortable in life, and it was nice to see on TV people
mm,
acting out the things that you were feeling because it feels really alone a lot of the time. So the X-Men means so much for so many people.
yeah, and that's what's great about the community you've built too. Is that there's those people that you can relate to and are going through similar stuff or different stuff, but you can relate to it in one way or another. So it's great to have this community as well.
Yeah,
Wish it was around when I was a kid
totally
or
agree.
was going through that stuff.
Yes,
But
finally.
we found our
I get
people,
it.
right?
Yeah. It's oh, my train of thought just left. But yeah, it's nice to
Fair
see that
enough.
other people also
Yeah.
can relate to the X-Men because they were feeling the same thing, and it's so crazy how it appeals to so many different groups of people, like people of different races, people of different
hmm
genders, people of different sexual orientations. It or just your average person who's just
Absolutely. Yeah.
uncomfortable and feels alone. And I think that's such a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Mhm. Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. No. No. It's good to have that, and it's good to have that for the kids. And you were saying how your youngest isn't into stuff yet. It took a while actually for my kids. I mean, they went through a little, the okay, boys they went through their big Batman and phase, and they went through a Spider-Man phase, but my daughter went through the princess phase, and all that. But it didn't really kind of hit until really get going until I don't know, until they got a bit older and we could really talk about stuff. I mean, that made a big difference. Is being able to discuss these things and discuss what we liked and didn't like and the characters we liked. So that's what's neat about
Well,
having
that's
teenagers is that you can
like when
have
I say she's
conversations
into
with them.
nothing, I mean, like,
And,
we didn't even know what her birthday party would be themed as. We have no idea. It was so, like, she
oh, bless.
just goes with the flow. Nothing is her
Yeah.
favorite thing. She's just so chill. And for her birthday, we just made it a dessert theme. So she was two
Oh,
sweets. So she was two. Yeah. So she loved that. And we're like, okay, so you
oh,
do like
cute.
sweets.
That's good.
Like, that's what you're into. And she's nonverbal, so she can't tell us. Yes, both my kids are nonverbal. I have the
Okay.
loudest two
Yeah, yeah.
nonverbal children in the entire world. So it's a it's a cruel
Oh,
twist of Mother Nature, I
bless.
guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm hoping someday
there,
we'll be
there
able
you go.
to
Yeah.
cosplay as a family. Well, my husband never will, but I feel like I have a lot of power here as their parents, so I'm gonna
No,
try
yeah.
to use
No.
that power.
Well, Halloween's a good starting point. That's where it started for us
Yeah.
was just with Halloween costumes, and then going to the cons, and um, yeah, just went from there. Um, yeah, this I realized last year we actually went to no, I guess it was only two cons this year because we skipped there's a little Bellingham con, but we were waiting for my son's new passport to arrive, so we didn't make it to that one. But we went to Vancouver Fan Expo, and then we went to the Washington State Summer Con, which was a ton of fun, and had my son's favorite
Ooh.
Broadway singer, who's also a voice actor, was there, so that was really cool. And Alex Brightman, he did Beetlejuice on Broadway, and he does a bunch of the Has Been Hell of a Verse characters, and so that was really cool. It was fun, and my son was there in his made or I think it was unicorn Deadpool costume, and he had his Infinity Gauntlet, and it was great because Alex Brightman came and he borrowed the gauntlet and went and like flipped off the other
You
actor because anyone who
you
holds the
have to
gauntlet they
do
have to
that.
flip people off. It's just kind of because you can move the fingers and it's and anybody who does it and so yeah the gauntlet went around a bunch of the cast they were flipping each other off, so that was fun. And then the really cool thing is we actually we didn't realize at the time, but somebody told us that the creator of the Infinity Gauntlet, the comic creator of the
Oh.
Gauntlet, was there, and so he
Oh
actually
wow,
signed the
that is
Gauntlet.
really cool.
So that was really awesome.
That sounds
That
like
was
you
really
had the
fun. So that was a
time of
really
your
fun
life.
con, and oh, it was so good. It was at the Puyallup Fairgrounds, which is big. The Vancouver Fan Expo is in a small convention center, and it gets really crowded. So it was blazing hot in summer, but it was air conditioned inside, and it was just it was we had such a good time and cosplayed and hung out with other geeks and looked at stuff and met all these creators, and
Oh,
it was probably my favorite con I've been to. So hopefully we'll go again next year, depending on how it works with school, because yeah, schools get out a little bit later here
okay.
in BC than they do in
Well,
Washington.
that's awesome. I hope you
So
post
it
all
just
the
depends.
pictures from when you guys go. I love your picture. I'm just like
Well, I'm
you
sure
get
I will.
FOMO when you see other people like living
Oh,
your
that's
dream and you're like, I want to join. I want to be a part of a family.
oh.
Yes.
Well, if you ever come out here,
Finally, someone
we'll
will
cosplay with you.
because my family hates me.
Yeah. Oh, I just have well, as you know, my son's a big drama theater nerd, so he loves to dress up. I've always loved to dress up, so any excuse to put
I
on
love
funny
that.
outfits, it's like, let's do it.
I feel like,
I love costumes,
what does your son
so
want to be when he grows
yeah.
up?
So it's
Yeah. This sounds like the
he wants to
making
be
of
an
one.
actor.
Like, well, when he was
So
younger, he would dress
it's
as
just
Deadpool and a unicorn. He dressed as Princess. Like, you know how you always hear about those, like, those actors and their past lives? Like, I feel like this is where we're at with your son.
mhm.
this, this is history happening.
Well,
Oh,
yeah. Well, Ryan Reynolds came from this area, so it's we got which is his my son's I don't know, favorite actor, idol, whatever. He looks up. So that's whose footsteps he's hoping to follow. So we'll see. It's a hard path to take. So I wish him the best. A little bit nervous as a mom because it's hard to break in as an actor, but I definitely try and support him. He got signed by
he
an
has a whole
agent,
agent?
so he hasn't been cast in anything yet. So hopefully soon. Yeah, agent who does commercials. So he's done 2 auditions for commercials. He's done a bunch of background work for like Hallmark movies
What?
and other things because they do a lot of filming at
Your
his high
son's an
school.
actor.
So
Like,
he's
he's an
starting
actual
out.
actor.
Yeah, if you ever, yeah, no, he's good. Yeah, he's in the background in the Stephen King horror movie, The Monkey, that's about to come out. So he's background of that. Both he and I are actually in the Hallmark movie, A Reason for the Season, that we did background work for, which was a funny experience because we're filming in June and blazing hot, wearing winter clothes and Christmas
That is so
clothes.
cool.
So it's
We've
funny.
just been
So
talking about this
you can
stranger of
see
a
us both there.
16-year-old this whole time. Little did I know he's famous and an actor. Like, that's wild. And you're an actor. You were in the background
He's
too.
getting there. He's getting there. Yeah. Yeah, I was there
That's so
too.
cool.
So yeah. Yeah, no, it's really good. He goes to a good school with a really good theater department, and yeah, the drama teacher does raises a lot of money for the drama department by hosting because so much stuff is filmed here in the Vancouver area. Hosting a lot of, especially a lot of these Hallmark movies get filmed at the school. Episodes of Riverdale have been filmed there. Like all kinds of stuff has been filmed at the school. So it's a neat
It feels kind
opportunity
of
for
like
him. We're really
fate.
really
Like,
lucky
it could
to
happen
have that.
anywhere, but it happens there, you know? That's so cool.
Yeah, yeah. No, I really hope it all works out for him because I think I mean, okay, I'm biased. I'm the mom, but I think he's insanely talented. I think we were chatting earlier. I just admire he can stand up on a stage and just belt out singing. Singing the songs. And he does all these musicals. And it's like, and there's other kids singing, and they're fine, but they're you can tell they're a little nervous. They're not. You can hear Dom because he's got absolutely no fear on stage. It's where he's happiest and feels most comfortable is when he's up and performing, and I just admire him
I feel
so
like,
much for that. He's such a neat kid. All 3 of my kids are.
yeah.
It's just
It's,
just right,
I
but
think
he's my
that
Marvel
confidence
nerd,
in itself is a talent because, like,
and
to
so
have that
yeah.
so young, and it's such an awkward time in life at 16.
Oh,
That's
I did
insane.
not have that. Yeah, yeah. Even my husband, who isn't into theater and into all this stuff. I mean, he'll go. Of course, he goes and sees the plays and such, and he's impressed that Dom can just stand up there and do that. And he gets excited when the casting's coming. What's it going to be? Which role? Because he last year Dom was the baker in Into the Woods, so he's in grade 10 and gets one of the lead roles. So I am I can rave
Well,
about him
I
nonstop.
think that's
He's
so
my
nice. So, as we wrap up, is there anywhere you want to tell our listeners that they can find you?
You can find me on Instagram at KJLGEH. You can find Dom as that one theater kid, or he also does Grinch impersonation. So he's also the Great Grinch of Brookswood on Instagram. So I up about
Oh,
places
that's
there.
cool.
Yeah, and that's where we're at.
Great. Now I have to go follow him because, like, how often do you get to say you talk to an actor's mom? That's wild.
Yeah, and he's going to be big. I know it. So, you can see him. You sort
I
of knew
think
him
so.
before he was big.
Yeah, true, true. We are the trendsetters, if
Obviously.
you will. So, that brings us to the end. Thank you, Katie, for joining me. It was so fun to have this nerdy parent talk I've
Yeah.
always wanted to have. It's such a weird, it's such a good group to be in. To all the other nerdy parents, I hope you enjoyed this. This was so much fun. Um, if you want to find me, you can look on every social media app under Vigilante Vibes Podcast or Vigilante Vibes Pod, depending on where you are. Uh, Wherever you're listening to, be sure to click that subscribe button so you can hear all the other episodes I drop with maybe more parents. Who knows? You can find me at nerdinitiative.com where we review the latest comics, movies, and TV shows. And I hate to brag, but my reviews are pretty good. So, as
They're
always,
excellent.
thank you. As always, thank you for your never ending support. You guys are amazing and have a marvelous day.